In this video, I'm putting the DJI Mini Pro 5 drone to the test, not in a studio, but out here in the real world of Thailand. From cinematic landscapes to close encounters that one shouldn't really be making with a buffalo, I'll be looking at the stability of the drone, wind resistance, and several error messages, including gimbal stuck. I'll even be trying to use the drone at the Surin Elephant Festival. Let's see what this drone is made of when I do a stage crash test, and much more. In the part 1 video, I purchased and unboxed the drone and discussed the forms to be submitted to the relevant authorities. In the part 2 video, I discussed the exam and set up the drone and tested it in the shop. In my 20s and 30s, I worked for several retail and investment banks in London and Edinburgh as a software testing contractor. I passed a software testing certification at the British Computer Society. The testing that I will be demonstrating in this video is ad hoc random testing and certainly not formal structured testing. This was my first time using the drone alone at home. You can see how I'm sort of not using the remote control stick very smoothly at all. I don't know who was more nervous, the buffalo or myself. A week later, I decided to go to my wife's 20-arrive land in Nakhon Nowhere, Isan to test the drone. Right, I'm on my wife's land here in Nakhon Nowhere in Isan, the northeast of Thailand. I'm here to test the drone. I've checked the app. There's no restricted flying here. I can do what I want here. There's no airports, no restrictions. I want to just test the altitude. If I get the warning message on this app here, when I go 80 or 90 meters up, it should be giving me a warning message. So that's what I'm here to test. So let's press the record button there. Okay, that's recording now. I can see timer going off now. Let's have a look at the drone. Where are you? There we are. Can you see that? It's a bit hard to see because of there we are, the camera angle. So we're ready to go. That's recording, let's go up. And I'll keep punching that up for 80 or 90 meters. Let's see how far this goes.
Low battery, return to home promptly.
Crap. Now we've got a low battery, so let's bring him back. And I'll change the battery.
Return to home.
So that's another thing to test. If the battery gets low, you'll get a warning message. So that's good to see that's working. Okay, let's try this altitude test again. Start the drone, one hand here.
Take off.
Okay,
Home point updated.
What we're doing is, got a full battery on there now. We're going to record it on the drone as well. Okay, that's recording. I can see the timer going. I'm going to test the altitude, see how far up I can go before the warning message is displayed on the system. So let's do that. I'm using my left hand here. Up we go. Going up, up, up. There we go. Flight altitude exceeds 90 meters. Aircraft might be in violation of local laws and regulations. Check to make sure you have obtained proper authorization to fly in this airspace. So let's bring it back. So that showed, that's good. That's what I'm here to test the system. And it's working as expected. I'll bring it back down to a more reasonable altitude, and there we go. I'm now at about 55 meters. And that is acceptable. So the message is shown about 80 or 90 meters. Should we just try that again? I'll count the meters as we go up. We're at 55, no message. We're at 60 meter now, 89. Let's see if with that message is shown, and we know the system's working as expected. 90, 91. No, that's interesting, no message. 95. That's weird, isn't it? I've now got 103 meters. So that's strange. The message showed the first time. I came back down to lower altitude, which was what I'm doing now. Then I went back up and the message is not shown. So is that a bug? That's a bit weird. You'd think that the message would be shown every time I exceed 90 meters. Okay, do you see the drone there? It's right in front of that tree. So I'm testing the sensor. Whether or not the system will allow me to fly into the tree. I've zoomed back in. There's the tree. It's not going to allow me. I'll have to go up. And And then once I go above the tree, the beeping stops. So that's working correctly. That's great. In this next clip, I visited the Phnom Rang temple in Buriram on a really windy day. I wanted to kind of stress test the drone in a really windy conditions and knew that this site will be suitable because it sits at an elevation of 402 meters above sea level. You can see the drone here being moved around a lot by the strong winds. In this rubber tree plantation area, I wanted to test the return to home functionality to confirm that the sensors can navigate the drone through the trees back to the original position where I started the drone. Now I'm going to return to home and watch the drone go through all the obstacles of these rubber trees.
Return to home.
Okay, we're going to home. See you can go through the rubber trees without running into one. Finds the best route.
Landing.
Back to the original position. This year I attended the Surin Elephant Festival in Isan, Thailand, and published a video on this as well if you're interested. I wanted to test if there was any restrictions on flying a drone in the centre of the city whilst the festival was on. At the festival I did bump into a professional production crew and they were actually flying a drone. The guy told me that he had obtained authorization from the Civil Aviation Authority. So I'm here at the Surin Elephant Festival, it's just over there. And to run a test for this drone, I decided to just turn on the drone, turn on the control unit, and there's an error message saying this is an authorization zone. So it means that aircraft in authorization zone unlocked to take off. And it mentions the airport, which I know is close by because I know this city quite well. So this is a good test to show that look, I don't have authority from the Civil Aviation Authority. There's an unlock button there. If I press that unlock button, then it requires Wi-Fi, and then obviously I have to go through a process and enter the authorization code. So this is a good test to prove that you do need authority to fly the drone in certain parts of Thailand. So that's glad to have done this test actually. I visited this stunning area of Thailand in Soi Dao. I've always wanted to film this road with the beautiful mountains in the backdrop that you can see. As I was watching the scenery on the drone's control unit, suddenly a gimbal stuck message was displayed. So I pressed the return to home button and the drone returned successfully. Now I'm in Soi Dao and I'm going to test the drone and send it towards this hole in the cliff there. Might see if I can go inside there and see what happens. It's about probably 500 meters away. Ready to go.
Take off.
There we go.
Home point updated.
Press the record button. When I was flying the drone towards the mountain, I was mindful of the fact that the border with Cambodia was more or less sort of over the other side of the cliff. Then suddenly I ran into problems.
Obstacle sensing unavailable. Fly with caution.
Jesus.
Return to home.
It says obstacle sensing is unavailable. That's bullshit. It's actually got an error message now. I can't see where the drone is. Try one more time.
Obstacle sensing unavailable. Fly with caution.
Optical sensing unavailable. So it's got an error message here. And I can't see the drone at all. My only option was to fly back manually, and I succeeded in doing this. I actually want to go back to this same area again and test the drone again. It's my only way to determine if this problem was caused by the close proximity to the border. The next day at my land, there were absolutely no issues with the drone, and I've not been able to recreate this error message again. Today I'm going to do a test and fly the drone basically through this little hut above this wire. I've purposely sort of made this space a bit tight here. I should get the tape measure out, but it looks like it might be about a metre and a half space. And you see the roof here, it's quite low, so the sensor has to take into account the wire there, the fencing wire, and the roof, which is hanging down a bit lower. So it might only be 1 metre and the space from the wire to that roof. So let's give it a test, okay?
Take off.
Okay, now we're going to start the drone.
Home point updated.
First I'm going to actually check the sensor can pick up the wire, try to fly the drone into the wire, and you can see I've got the joystick fully pushed forward there. It won't run into the wire. Okay, that's good. Sensor picks that up because I'm in C mode, right? If I was in S mode, I would not use the sensor and that would crash into the wire, sports mode. But C and N mode has the sensor operating. And you see that red line, that's where the sensor's operating, okay? Now let's take the drone up a bit. A bit higher. I might even bring the camera a bit more forward. Okay, now let's bring him over a little bit in the middle. So I'm about, we'll go down a little bit further and try the top of the wire again. Yeah, this won't allow me to go forward. Okay, let's go a bit higher. Let's go higher now. Let's try going forward now. Okay, let's go inside. Now we won't go forward. It must be because of the roof on the other side. I'm in the middle of the actual hut here. Can you see that? And it'll be that roof. What about if I try to bring the drone down a little bit? Won't go down any further because of the sensor. I'm trying to push it forward. See the joystick, I'm pushing forward there, and the drone just stays. So basically I'm trying to go right now. Yeah, I can go right very slowly, but it won't go through that gap. Oh, it goes forward a little bit. And these poles also, might be the poles here, but I suspect actually it's the roof. It's this roof here. It's just too low. It's hanging down there, and the drone can't go through. So with the wire at the bottom, the fencing wire on the bottom, and the roof at the top, so it will not go through. I suppose the ultimate test is if I put it into S mode.
Obstacle sensing unavailable.
Okay, it says
caution.
Obstacle sensing unavailable. That's the S mode. Now, in theory, it should go through. So let's go through. Is there no sensors? Yeah, see that? So it's going through. No problem. And it will even run into these trees, but I'm not going to go forward into the tree, right? But yeah, it allowed me to go through where it is there. So if you ever have an issue where the drone's safe, but the sensor's just too restricted, you just put it into S mode and you can continue your flying. Let's bring him back. First I'll turn the drone around. Okay. We're in S mode. See, now I just pushed out to the side. Okay, no sensor. That was quite close to the pole, but I knew I had space there, so that S mode is a little bit dangerous if you're not sort of being careful. At this point of the video, I thought to myself, I must do a staged crash test. The objective of the test was to observe the drone's crash response. After the drone made contact with the pole, it fell onto soft grass, allowing me to evaluate how the aircraft behaved on impact, specifically whether the motors and the propellers shut down automatically and how the flight controller handled a sudden loss of stability. Even if the aircraft had sustained irreparable damage, that would still be a valid test for me, and I wouldn't really care so much as I would just easily go and buy a new drone. Now it says check or replace propellers. I've got spare propellers anyway. They included that in the pack. It says propeller rotation not smooth or collision detected. Make sure propellers look as shown and install properly. Replace propellers if damaged or cracked. I'll just show you how easy it is to change the propeller. This is the damaged propeller. So just put your finger on here, support. Okay. You just have to work out which way the groove is going and turn it. So that's the old damaged one. When you buy the drone, they'll give you these spare propellers, and the B is for this side and this side. So just open that up. Okay, just see the groove there. Looks like we just put it in here and turn it anti-clockwise. Okay, it's done. I've already done all the other propellers. Now we're ready to go test it again. Okay, so I've moved up to the lake area. An hour ago I had the staged, crash into the pole and was testing that error message. Okay, it forced me to change the propellers. I changed the propellers now. I'm running a test now to see if the propellers work. And also, yesterday I was at Soi Dao on the mountain, had that error where the drone did not return to me. So that's ready. Turn on the drone.
Take off. Home point updated.
I'm really keen to see if the error message still occurs after that problem in Soi Dao near the cliff, where I was trying to fly the drone near the hole and it lost the sort of GPS. The DJI technical team told me to recalibrate the drone, which I've done. I recalibrated the gimbal as well. So everything's been recalibrated now, and I've changed the propellers. So let's see if this drone is going to work as expected. Okay, up we go. Now I want to check the altitude. See if I get the error message. I want to take this above 90 meters. There we go. I got the same message. It says flight altitude exceeds 90 meters. The aircraft may be in violation of local laws and regulations. Check to make sure you have obtained the authorization to fly in this airspace. So okay, I'll bring it back down. I want to test the sensor, see if it recognizes the water. So let's try this. This is a bit of a risky test, this. Look at that. I'll just take the camera a bit closer. But there's the drone there. It's a bit bright today, a bit hard to see, but I've got the joystick here. I'm trying to fly the drone into the water, but it won't allow me to. So that's good news. Okay, I was up there flying the drone to see the kite, and I've got a gimbal stuck message again. It's not good, So it's the same problem as in Soi Dao. I'm gonna have to send this in for service. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. After pushing the DJI Mini Pro 5 through real-world Thailand with wind, errors, trees and even a crash test, it's clear that this drone can handle more than you'd expect, but it's not perfect. Thanks for watching.